may be the festive season, but that doesn't mean that there is an end to gender-based violence. In fact, in many instances, this becomes even worse. Let's discuss this with Merita Ground, who's from the Gauteng Provincial, Gauteng's GBV unit. Thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate it. On Christmas Day, it's a very sad topic that we have to discuss, but unfortunately, while most people are spending time with family and loved ones, there are also those that are seeking help and shelter. Maybe just speak to us about what some of the options are for those in need, especially here in Gauteng.
So within Gauteng, we have 23 shelters for women and children that has become victims of domestic violence. We also have a shelter for males. We will be flighting the GBV command center's numbers and details. If anybody is in danger or has been violated, they call that number and they will be linked immediately with a shelter if they need a safe place. Other than that, it's important to note that if you have been injured and you do not necessarily want to go to a shelter out of your family, you must go to your nearest medical legal facility so that you can be having a forensic examination and be assisted with the correct medication, specifically with regards to sexual offences. Gauteng has 25 of these centres across all our corridors. Again, if you found that number, you will be linked to your closest medical legal facility. Another option that we also would like to bring out to victims of domestic violence is the protection order option. Your protection order, you can do an application at a court. You can also do an application at any police station. And the benefits of that is that the aim is to prevent further harm. It is to allow a peace officer to go with you to go and fetch anything personal or other belongings from the residents. It is also to make sure that your space becomes safer, that the perpetrator may not come closer to you, and that the perpetrator may be arrested if he has violated either an interim or a permanent protection order. It's important for our citizens to know that if somebody has breached a protection order, no police station may release that person. It can only be done legally through a magistrate's court. If you want If you want to go to a police station, we've got 143 across Gauteng. We acknowledge that there are times that victims go to a police station and do not get the considered help that they are entitled to. At the end of the interview, I'll be giving you two numbers that we encourage any victim or any significant other of a victim to contact via SMS or WhatsApp, because as Department of Community Safety, we take control of that and we initiate immediate action and consequence management to those officers that do not handle these cases. As complex as it is, we do not need our victims to have secondary victimization at our police stations.
I think the fear of speaking out remains a very big problem when it comes to GBV. But I just quickly want to ask you, before you give us those two numbers, the President did say that GBV is another pandemic in this country and it needs to come to an end. But would you say, especially after 16 days of activism campaign, we are in any way winning this at all? Because it just seems as though it's another campaign, it's another year where 16 days of activism comes and goes. And it just seems as though the problem probably gets worse even after years and years with all these efforts to try and fight it.
Unfortunately, that is the truth. It's a pandemic that seems to be on the increase. Interestingly enough, not just in South Africa, but it's a global phenomenon, because domestic violence and sexual violence has a myriad of causes. When we look in South Africa specifically at our unemployment figures, when we look at the economic crisis that we're in, when we look at our patriarchal systems, our cultural and traditional belief systems, that contributes to the victim also not coming forward. And then that gets compounded by delayed justice, court cases that goes on for a year or longer, or inefficiency of those in the criminal justice system. Gauteng as a province, note this, and we have a project that we call ring-fenced cases. We make available to any victim a family justice officer that is a professional, either as a social worker or a criminologist. We also make sure that you are linked to a social worker that specializes in gender-based violence, whether you're an adult or a child, because we want to, together with the victim, look at what we can do to support them and their significant others better so that they may speak out. We also want to, as a government, say, when we say speak out, we don't say you need to go and tell everybody your story. We just want you to speak out to the criminal justice system so that we can then support you.
Great. Merita, we're running out of time, but if you could just quickly give us that number, that's if anyone's watching and wants to call and reach out and speak out and seek help, what is the number that they can call?
0800 428 428. 0800 428 428. The SMS of help to 31531. If you do not have any data, please use the please call me option, *120 *7867. The last number, if the police have not treated yourself or significant other correctly, please WhatsApp or SMS 071 853 1306.